There's been one consistent marketing aspect that the Xbox has been hitting on the head repeatedly, which is the fact they don't want a box in their customers to buy their games where Xbox wants to buy their games. Instead, they put the choice in the gamer's hands. You can play all the Xbox first-party games on your console or your PC. Not to mention, for the first couple of years, when the Xbox Series X launches, developers for Xbox will have the games on the Xbox One consoles. That's until over the next couple of years, they move on from those devices, and people will most likely transfer over to the Xbox Series X or the Xbox Series S. It's something that Xbox isn't letting up on, because their main console competitor, the PlayStation 5, won't be doing the same thing. Now, don't get me wrong, some of the third-party games you buy on the PS5 console will get free upgrades when you inevitably move over to the new generation. But that doesn't hide the fact that Sony's strategy is a very archaic one. They are telling their fans and customer base that if they want to play their first-party games, they will have to purchase a PlayStation 5. And while that was a very common thing to do back in the day when consoles had hard generation restarts, that isn't something that a lot of consumers and gamers want to see happen next generation. And it's something that Xbox's Phil Spencer calls out when he talks about the generational leaps and how it's about putting the gamer at the center of what they do. So let's get into this interview, because there was a lot said, and honestly, I find it a crazy juxtaposition to what Xbox is trying to do next generation compared to what PlayStation 5 is doing next generation. So let's get into it. But like always, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. So the first thing I want to talk about has to be that the next generation consoles are right around the corner. I mean, we truly are a couple months away from getting these huge hardware upgrades in our hands. This has been building up for years now, and I think a lot of gamers are excited to see Sony and Xbox go head-to-head in the console space. And one of the best ways they go head-to-head is the first-party exclusive games each publisher makes, especially the ones that are going to be on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. But the difference between both companies are handling the next generation exclusives couldn't be more different, which the article points out here. Next-gen exclusives, are they necessary to push the industry and art form forward, or do they just unnecessarily divide players? Sony takes the former position and will launch the PlayStation 5 with the usual array of exclusives, while Microsoft supports the later and has promised all first-party Xbox Series X games will also come out on the Xbox One for at least a year. Now, I know we've heard this before, but we all know that Sony's Ps5 will have games exclusive to that system. It's a way for Sony to integrate a lot of their hardcore fanbase at the early stages of a generation, all the while exiling others that might not want to upgrade right away. The only thing I have a problem with is the fact they're using games like Spider-Man Miles Morales to do just this, because I find that the game should be available on the PS4 Pro at the very least, because it's one of the biggest staple exclusives Sony has right now, and while it would be awesome to have that option for gamers to choose from, Sony has decided to make that choice for us gamers. All the while, Xbox will be providing all their games for the next 2 years on all platforms they support. So the Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and of course, PC. People will be given the option, no matter where they are, to play the next big Xbox exclusive games wherever they want. They aren't forced to purchase an entire system to play a spin-off Spider-Man game. Now, does this affect me? No, because I will buy both the Series X and the PS5 day one, because it's what I always do. I want the highest performance when I play my games at all times, but I will not act like my decision is the only one, and it does affect other gamers. And I know that a lot of people will say if Xbox is doing this, they will hold back their exclusives because the developers have to make the game for the lesser piece of hardware. And to them, I have to say that's just not right, because the lowest common denominator will be the PC specs. Not to mention, game developers on PC have been doing this type of integration with their games for years now. Here's what the article had to say. So is Microsoft limiting their developers by forcing them to support the Xbox One? In a new interview with GameIndustry.biz, Phil Spencer rejects the idea that the Xbox Series X will be in any way held back. Here's what Phil Spencer had to say on the matter. Frankly, held back is a meme that gets created by people who are too caught up in device competition. The diversity of hardware choice in PC has not held back the highest fidelity PC games on the market. The highest fidelity PC games rival anything that anyone has ever seen in video games. So this idea that developers don't know how to build games or game engines or ecosystems that work across a set of hardware, there's a proof point in PC that shows that's not the case. And mic drop. I mean, come on, it's very simple to see that PC developers have created amazing pieces of software that works amazing with the hardware. The game development environments have such great infrastructure that they'll be able to make a game look amazing on the highest setting with ultra settings enabled, all the while they're able to bring down certain aspects of the game for someone that might not have the greatest PC around. It's all about making games for the minimal spec for PC and providing those that pay top dollar for their PC the best experience they can have. So when I hear people saying that Xbox's decision to support their Xbox One consoles will hold back the next generation Series X, I have to say they're completely wrong, and honestly, it's a little disrespectful to developers that work diligently on giving gamers the best possible experience they can have on the device they choose to play on. Does this require more work on the back end for Xbox? No doubt it does, but if you've seen how much Xbox has invested in the Xbox ecosystem, you would know that's not a problem. And to be honest, it's a huge reason why Xbox is pushing this marketing aspect of their Xbox Series X so hard. It's because Sony's PS5 just doesn't have the back end infrastructure to compete with what Xbox is doing. From smart delivery to upgrading older games with HDR and all kinds of features for free. The amount of dedication Xbox has put into their ecosystem for the Xbox is overwhelming. They want everyone to feel comfortable when they buy a game on that platform because they respect the purchase and money we put on their ecosystem. All the while, Phil Spencer kind of calls out Sony for not doing that when the article points this out. Later in the interview, Spencer goes a step further, saying Sony's next-gen exclusive-focused approach is completely counter to what gaming is about. Here's what Phil Spencer had to say directly. As a player, you are the center of our strategy. Our device is not the center of our strategy. Our game is not the center of our strategy. We want to enable you to play the games you want to play with friends you want to play with on any device. Gaming is about entertainment and community and diversion and learning new stories and new perspectives. And I find it completely counter to what gaming is about to say that part of that is to lock people away from being able to experience those games or to force someone to buy my device on the day that I want them to go buy it in order to partake in what gaming is about. I couldn't have said it any better myself. I wholeheartedly agree with what Phil Spencer says right here because the games shouldn't drive what they do. The device shouldn't drive what they do from a business standpoint. It should be the customer that does. Us, the gamers, along with developers. The two most important aspects of game creation are the developers and the gamers that support the games, not the publishers who put the game out. Sure, it's important to make a great piece of hardware and provide awesome features to the gamers, but it's equally important for them to respect the people that support them. And that's exactly what Xbox is doing this coming generation. They aren't allowing past mistakes to dictate how they position the Xbox Series X. Because when the Xbox One launched in 2013, Xbox came in very confident that people will just follow them no matter what. They didn't have backwards compatibility, and they dictated to the customer what the Xbox One will be. It was a terrible strategy that gamers rebelled against, and the best way to rebel was to not buy the system, and that's exactly what they did. Gamers just didn't buy the Xbox One. Now, over the years, Xbox had a massive change in leadership and perspective, which helped them salvage some of this console generation. But what's most promising is how they'll launch this upcoming console generation with everything they learned over the last 5 years. Not to mention them setting everything up to counter exactly what Sony is doing with their PS5. It's crazy to think that Sony might not have an answer to this aspect of the next generation consoles. Now, I know Sony has amazing exclusive games, and they just might carry them into the next generation easily, but I have a feeling that this misstep will haunt them for a little while, and I think Xbox will be there to take advantage of it every step of the way. Either way you cut it, I have a feeling this next generation is going to be a lot more competitive between Microsoft and Sony. And that truly only benefits us, the gamers. So it's win-win in my book. But enough of what I think about all of this. Tell me what you think about all of this. Are you surprised Phil Spencer called out Sony's PlayStation 5 strategy? Do you think Sony will change their stance on the PS5 only games? Will Xbox stop supporting the Xbox One 2 years into the Series X generation? Do you think this will hold back game developers? What console will you buy day one if the strategies stay the same at launch? Is there a launch title on either the PS5 or the Series X you're looking forward to the most? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. Right now I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends and a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn, plus a couple games on Xbox like Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm having a lot of fun with my friends on that game. And tell me what you're playing. Are you working on your backlog right now before Ghost of Tsushima? Go in the comments below and tell me what you're gaming on. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.